All right, let's dive into A.R. Barton's amazing short story, Going Places. This one is a really sharp look into the whole world of teenage dreams, hero worship, and what happens when all of that crashes into reality. We're going to explore what happens when your imagination is pretty much all you've got. So, right at the heart of this story is a question I think a lot of us have bumped into at some point. What do you do when the life you see for yourself feels like it's a million miles away from the one you're actually stuck in? This is the huge struggle for our main character. Okay, so let's meet Sophie. She's a teenager about to leave school, but honestly, she's not just dreaming about the future. In her mind, she's already there, building these incredible, elaborate fantasies of what her life is going to be like.
And she does not hold back. She just comes right out and says it with total confidence. She's going to have her own boutique. I mean, that one line tells you everything you need to know about her ambition and how she sees the world, just full of possibilities.
This slide just lays it all out so perfectly. On the left, you've got Sophie's huge, colorful dreams. She's going to be a boutique owner, an actress, maybe a fashion designer. But then you look to the right, and her friend Janzi hits her with the cold, hard truth. They're both pretty much earmarked for the biscuit factory. It's this massive gap between her dreams and her destiny that really drives the whole story. Now, to really get why Sophie dreams so big, you have to see where she's coming from. Her need to escape isn't just some teenage whim. It's a direct response to the, suffocating reality of her home. The story paints such a grim picture of her house, doesn't it? Just look at the details here. A small, steamy room, dirty clothes piled up, her dad still grimy from work. In a house like this, the biggest dream they have is for a simple, decent house, which is a far cry from Sophie's grand plans for a boutique. And this quote just captures the family vibe perfectly. Even her little brother, Derek, is already echoing his parents' cynical view. For them, Sophie's big dreams aren't inspiring at all. They're just kind of a joke. So even in her own home, she is totally alone with these dreams. So with no real escape in sight, Sophie just creates a massive one in her head. And it all revolves around her hero worship of this young, super famous football player. The only person who gets even a peek into this secret world is her older brother, Jeff. He's this quiet guy, an apprentice mechanic. And to Sophie, he's like a symbol of another world, a world beyond their street that she can only imagine. He becomes the keeper of her most precious fantasy. And that secret, the one she only trusts Jeff with, is the most complicated and, dangerous one she has. Denny Casey, the young Irish football star. Now, Sophie doesn't just admire him from her bedroom wall. Nope. She tells Jeff that she met him, that they talked in an arcade, and that he actually asked to meet her again. This is the moment her private daydreaming turns into a public lie. And when Jeff lets the story slip to their dad, the reaction is exactly what you'd expect. He's totally dismissive, just seeing it as another one of her wild stories. His disbelief just reinforces how little her family believes in her, and honestly, it just pushes her even deeper into her fantasy. So this lie keeps building and building until we reach the story's climax. Sophie is so committed to this fantasy that she decides to go to the date with Danny Casey, a date that, of course, only exists in her head. And as she sits there waiting, we watch her fantasy just fall apart in real time. It starts with so much hope, right? She's found this perfect secret spot. But as the minutes tick by, you can feel those pangs of doubt starting to creep in. And then, finally, she has to face that crushing weight of reality. He is not coming. The fantasy just can't hold up in the real world. But even after that huge, crushing disappointment, the story's not over. This last part really explores what the true purpose and, the power of Sophie's fantasy really was. This brings us to the real mystery the author leaves us chewing on. Was any of it real? Did she actually meet him in that arcade? Or was that just the beginning of the whole made-up story? And here's the crucial point. The story really suggests that none of it actually happened. The meeting, the conversation, the promise of a date, it was all probably created right inside Sophie's own head, the one place where she could have some control and feel special. And this is the key thing to take away. It doesn't really matter if she met Danny Casey or not. The story she built for herself was a lifeline. It was her mental refuge, a way to feel important and hopeful in a world that wasn't giving her either of those things. The dream itself was the escape, not whether it came true. And that leaves us with this final thought. Sure, Sophie's fantasy led to this big disappointment, this hard burden of sadness. But for a while there, it also gave her something to live for, a secret world that was all hers. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? When reality is bleak, are unrealistic dreams a dangerous burden, or are they a necessary lifeline?